Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have an awful rack. And I have lech. But the rack leave, not great. I do have Kibble now, which is a welcome sight. As well as... Oh, opponent scores a whopping 89 for his play. Now, Chi and Chi seems like the obvious play, creating a massively hot Z spot. I think I just have to go for it. That's 44. What would Kibble score? No, I'm going with Chi, I think. $44. Okay, just hope and pray my opponent does not have the Z. He has the J, the next best thing, so he scores 51. That was an unfortunate trade. Now, I have Humbly. Any four-timer opportunity? Not seeing it. I think I'll just get rid of some of these clunky consonants with Humbly. Dranted is good, and that currently does play next to Gin for 80. Hopefully opponent is drawn to this bottom right corner of the board. Granted doesn't quite reach the trip, and I don't think Dranted plays anywhere else on this board. Lowering takes an F and possibly another hook. Opponent scuppers my play. That's a real shame. Now I'm just going to look at this D here, this E. Entraded is not a word, as far as I know. Antlered is, but I've got two D's. Deranted. I'm going to play Den, I think. Den trade. Detrend. Yeah, I think just Den for 23. Okay, what does this rack make? It's not extremely bingo friendly. Lectures would probably be good, but opponent's keeping the board tight. Gadster. Radgist. Lecht and Radgist. Nah, Lecht is not good like that. Now, what about an ED ending word? Gastard. Restaged. There you go. So, hopefully opponent doesn't have a strong comeback play since I've just caught up. Now, I have drawn the K, so I have Dauk on the rack. I don't see a 7 here, or an 8. I was wondering if I had a like word. Opponents played off some I have conned. That's quite nice for 43. Not a great pickup, but I think there's a 5 vowel 8 in Fornay, but I've got an L. So in Fornay. Okay, Obol is good. So Mif is not, though. That's a shame. Orf is good. And if I'd love to get rid of an A. In Fornay, yeah, that's not going to help me. Just gonna rearrange these letters and see if there's something here. Infula, fenula, finula. I think I will go with if, even though the rack leave is not fantastic. Okay, I've got a little bit of a vowel heavy rack here, but not far from a bingo. Plantua. Upland almost with an E. The G, semi-useful, but not, the G and the P don't go well together. What about an I? 6-letter word beginning with an I. Impala, if my N was an M, that would be a nice play. Impala. Now, I've still got the L for Obol, but Luna feels weak. Sorts the rack out, but O-bowl takes hooks, S and possibly an E. Opponent taking a bit of time with this move. He might be close to a bingo. Yeah, he does bingo, so that was a shame, and I simply can't take advantage of either the top right-hand triple word square or this one in the middle. So that was most unfortunate. I might just go with apt. That's a real shame. It's only 26 and it gives back easy scores to opponent. I feel like I can do better. Got to watch my time as well. Planter, 32. I draw the X. But a whole bunch of junk to go with the X, apart from the blank. So that was a bit unfortunate there. I'd almost prefer to have a balanced rack without the blank than 2 U's, 2 I's and the blank. Yeah. Now, the spot likely to be... Yeah, the opponent scores 47. Now, I don't think I can take advantage of this spot. XO, but not Uggs takes nothing, so XE. The only 3-letter word ending in XE is AXE. That's a real shame. See, my opponent can play something like THE here for about 40, and then I'm a bingo behind again. This is the problem. Well, maybe I'll just play EX there. Shocking leave, but it denies my opponent use of that spot. Forces him to play elsewhere. That is a shocking rack leave, though. Yeah, I'm going with it. Ought unite through the right floater. That would be a 5-vowel 8. No, I don't have ought unite. Okay, I've got to start opening up this board because it's closing up on the left, and opponent's going to try. Well, that's what he's tried to do there. Chewy. 12. Ecuri. Something ending in eukaryote. Eucrite. Ukraine. Okay, I can play onto AS, but that's optimistic. Reduce, no. Coenuri, no. I'm sure there are a few bingos here, I'm just not seeing them. Uraic. Ukraine, I think Eucrite or Ukraine. Oh, I think something ending in Eric. What about Eric? Just to open the board up. Doesn't really. Opponent just parallel plays here and kills it off. I think the idea is to get rid of UE. Play of curve. Curve is a little bit harder to block because he can't block the E and the R. Well, he could if he played. Do I play curve? That's an interesting one. Coda is good, but it doesn't achieve curve. I wonder about curve. Gentler doesn't take anything that I know of. Seven vowels, 6 consonants. Yeah, I'm going with curve. Now, if I play ZE and he can't get the Z to play twice, I'd like to keep the blank. I mean the R. QV. What about rune? No, I think curve gives me a better shot at a bingo. Suzerain doesn't work. This is an interesting one. IZE plays. Nebulize. Unsized. That's not to unseized. Unseized, yeah. Hopefully he blocks the C and the U and the R, because I think unseized is good. Unseized for 89. Wow. I wonder if opponent's going to try play onto the AS. Now, if that's blocked, what about a play through the C? Suzerain through an... just the R's not in the right spot. Anything on to the K? Unlikely. Wow. If opponent plays how or your or something with his Y, I think he'll probably win, unless there's something onto the R. Sun, maybe a sun word. Sun visor. No. I think he's given it to me. Unless I've made a mistake. Unseized. Yes. Wow, what a finish. Thank my opponent for the game. Gee, just don't know if there was something on to the R or the C. Let's see what we missed. Wow, what a close finish. Lech was best for the opening rack, 28 points. Now lowering comes down for 89. Opponent takes a good lead early on. Chief of 44 was best, albeit volatile, and it did give back 51 points to opponent, so that was a bit unfortunate, but Humbly was best from this rack, sorting out the clunkiness and scoring quite well. Fletcher's, look at that. For 51, opponent went with Verd for 28, which scuppered my Dranted play. But look at this, Endarted. And I looked at that E for ages. I couldn't see it. But now that I see the word, it's pretty obvious. I've played it a number of times in the past. So that was a miss, Endarted. And then I went with Den. Opponent plays Oath for 30. Now restaged for 70. Gasted was the other one I mentioned. And Glowering, well, that was just a front hook. So got the bingo down there. Now Mui. Opponent had, but yeah, that's just opening scoring spots for me. Opponent does play Ooze for 13. And then Kiloton for 44 at 5E. Wow, look at that for a 4-timer. Kiloton. That would have been the play. I scored well with Cond, and yeah, the equity was quite similar. Now, opponent has Toei for 18, or Geo, pretty similar ideas. And then Flan for 36 from this rack. G8. Flan. That's quite nice. 36-point play. I forgot about the Fletch, the F hook for Lech. So that would have been quite nice. I went with F for 27. Now opponent's got a great rack here and quite a few bingos to choose from. Wistarias onto the AS, but Wraiths and Waiters, which is the one opponent plays. Now unapt, I went with Planter, which, wow, 32-point play, and I only get 28 equity for it. Maybe because I'm hanging on to a U. Mind you, that was only 32 equity, so not overly suboptimal. Where was M1? Oh, so saying unapt there. Yeah, well, AL is a better rack leave than U, that's for sure. But the problem with unapt, you're leaving a U right there next to a heavy, a premium tile, a premium square. So a play of Zulu, for example, would absolutely smash me. Or what are the other options? I don't know. I suppose, yeah, maybe there weren't that many. But yeah, he could have certainly hit hard there. Anyway, I'm still happy with Planter. Now, he does get a 47-point comeback with Beam, and I thought he might. Now, shocking rack here, exchange is suggested, but the reason I played... what did I play? X for 20. The reason I played that was because I identified a strong score here for opponent. So, well, just looking at what he might have had, something like E. THE was the one that I thought, or YE, not YE, HE. So maybe it wasn't as dangerous as previously thought. Maybe I didn't need to block it. So opponent had this rack anyway. Yeah, he wouldn't have had a whole lot on offer there. So maybe exchanging would have been better. Anyway, opponent's got Pell for 26 with a strong rack leave. He goes with Gentler to take out a bingo lane. And I've got this horror show to deal with. QE for 12 seems fine. Now, opponent's got scoring tiles, but not much synergy. Hop at G9. Okay, it's that parallel spot there. He went with Tav for 18. So, just looking at the potential, 34 would have put him on 386. So that might have been crucial in terms of outrunning me even after I bingo. Yeah, I wonder. Anyway, he goes with Tav to, I guess, balance his rack. Now, Curie for 20 onto the E, but with a Z unseen, I think that's folly. I think my play of curve, it kind of forked the board because opponent, the only way to block the E, R, U and C would have been a long play onto AS, I think. Or, yeah, I don't see how he could have blocked. So I think strategically this made a lot of sense. It didn't score much, but it gave me a real opportunity to bingo. Opponent's got Harry for 40. That's interesting because that might have given him a chance to outrun me. Harry there doesn't... Oh, but there were two in the bag. So he empties the bag by doing that. So that is not a winning play. Wow, it's almost like he has to play off one tile. But even one, he's got to bank on the possibility of me not bingoing through these three if he plays above. So that was hard from his perspective to work out what the possible bingos with these tiles and a C. And I'm going to check later what my rack plus an R, U or C would have made. But Unseized came down in all its glory, and that got me across the line. So Yeah, that was an interesting game. That top left quadrant not utilized at all until that bingo came down. But a great, close, exciting game at the end. Hope you enjoyed watching that one, and I will see you next time.